Gentlemen of the Grand Tour, thank you very much for joining us here. Thank you for coming to California to film an episode of the upcoming Amazon Prime show, which I understand will be debuting November the 18th.
It will.
My first question, because it's the one that everybody has asked me, is how will it be the same as, and how will it be different from, the previous installment of Top Gear?
Are you an IP lawyer?
I am not.
Okay, fine. It's broadly the same. I mean, the fact is it has us three hosting it.
And we are what we are.
We are what we are. He is slow and lost, he is short, and I'm bombastic and tall and fat. And you can't change that. So when we're out on the road, you get that. The studio obviously is different. You know, the elements within the studio, all of the things that people, those few people in America who saw the old show, will go, well, that's different. But it's like shepherd's pie and cottage pie, it's just new elements.
More people than you may think watched it here, and more people than you may think are looking forward to the new one. Will it have some live audience component, as did the British version?
Yeah, we've taken the studio on the road. It was his stupid idea.
It was my
It
stupid
sounds like a great one, and we both thought, yeah, let's do that. So we rather than be based in one simple home, we put the studio in a tent and we take it around the world. We go and meet our audience in just a simple tent.
We don't meet them, we look at
You
them.
sound like Bedouins or something,
not.
traveling with a caravanserai.
Gypsies.
Yeah.
Gypsies.
Oh yeah.
Gypsies with a wagon.
Yeah.
We are
Except for
gypsies.
everywhere we go,
Romans.
we've got to set up a complete studio in a tent, which means lights, a special floor for the cameras so they can move about, a gallery, all the people to run it.
Air conditioning. So you do that in the California desert.
Yeah.
It's a tricky thing. And then next week it's in Johannesburg. Week after that it's back in the UK. And then we don't even know where it's going after that. It's
It's
a
12,
huge
12
thing.
episodes,
Yeah.
roughly an hour each,
Very roughly.
12 locations,
yeah.
California.
We know California because we did that at the
Johannesburg.
weekend.
Right.
We know Johannesburg because we've done that. Weirdly, we've done that one already.
Right.
Just to get some practice and make sure the tent worked. And we know we're going to the UK after that. I think we've even announced that now. I'll announce it now. Well, no, yes, we are going to the UK. And then after that,
Might be Portugal, might be Morocco,
Yeah.
might be Italy,
wherever I
places
lay
where
my
automobiles
hat is my
exist.
home. Yeah.
It could be anywhere. That's the beauty of camping.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
can go where you want.
Even on this
Pretty much.
scale.
Well, you say that, but we did want to set the tent up in the centre of London. We thought, the London skyline, because it has windows, so you can see where we are. But it turns out there's nowhere in London to put a tent of our size anyway.
It's quite big.
So that's not happening.
And the Guinness World Book of Records says that you were at some point the most watched, or you became the most watched globally television show of all time. So this
There was one
this
mistake.
is a global thing as well,
Yeah,
right?
there was
A
one
global
mistake though, in that they said we were the world's most watched factual programme. Now, I'm fairly sure I'm not insane. We very rarely put a fact in the old show. I think we did once in 2011 and it was wrong.
We
Of
tried to
facts
hunt
snuck
down
in.
all facts and expunge them from the show.
We have opinion
Excellent.
Yeah.
and hyperbole.
That may save you from lawsuits
Yeah,
further down
hyperbole
the road.
can save you from
Also
lawsuits.
from being wrong.
Now,
Saves you having to look things up.
you were almost killed in a high-speed accident.
Yeah, that happened.
You had some sort of a crash during the filming of this show, if I understand, because there was a tweet photograph of you bloodied up and looking
you'll see
slightly
that.
disturbed.
That's in show 2. We went to Jordan, where the king has built this truly fabulous town, mock town, with an airport with an airliner on it, and embassies and houses and office blocks and so on, where special forces from all over the world go and compete. So you've got Delta and SAS and Snow Leopards from everywhere. I mean, they train African special forces most of the time, but they have these competitions. And we thought it would be quite fun for us to give it a go.
Yeah,
And
we fit
as
in.
you can imagine, we're not very good at special forces activities. the running was difficult.
Running's very difficult.
Fast roping out of a helicopter. Have you ever done that?
No, there may be a reason that they generally use younger people for this stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, now come on.
No, younger than him.
He's
Older
38.
than you, I know.
He's
I've
been
Been there for a
38
long
for 7
time.
years.
I'm good at it.
You're like Bob Hope, 39 forever. And you broke your arm in an off-the-set accident.
Yes, my shoulder,
Is
actually,
this
yes.
all kids don't try this at
How
home?
did you do that, James?
How did you do that, James?
What are you doing, James?
Hello,
Was
wasn't
it?
You came out of a restaurant having had a couple of glasses of wine, had a bit of a tumble, as
Bit of
they
a
say
fall.
of elderly people, and
I slipped, which is what everybody does, and everybody in the hospital has slipped on something and broken a bone. That was just bad luck, but there you go.
Just bad
heroic.
luck.
the day before the very first shoot,
What?
the old lady had a tumble and broke his shoulder.
All better now.
Yes, thank you.
Why California first?
Because I like it. The view's good out the
I
window
have
of the
no
tent.
idea why. It's
I
called
don't.
oh, I do know why.
Fitted with the,
no,
the story
actually,
from the
no.
top.
Exactly, I'd forgotten
The
that.
story of
There is a
'cause
there's
a bit of a story
pre
in them.
there's a pre-tease kind of thing at the beginning of it, which was going to end in Washington State, but the weather isn't good enough up there, weirdly, for what we were trying to do. So we moved it down to California.
We had to give it a bit of a kick-off. A bit
Yeah,
of a
so
start,
it's
and
start
it-
before the show starts. There's this little sequence,
It's not that
which
big.
ended in the desert in California, and so we thought, well, while we're there, let's do the show from California.
That's
And
good enough.
anyways,
That's good enough for me.
It's American paymasters these days, so it seemed appropriate and tactful to kick off in America.
Exactly.
Well, it's nice to them. Visit your money
Yeah.
at the very beginning before you've spent it all.
Yeah,
and
that is
spend
happening.
spend some time with them.
Getting rid of a large part of the money was
Yeah.
easy to achieve. in
The
California.
opening is quite big and
A couple of
quite expensive.
professional people who work in movies and TV said even Marvel would balk at the scale of what we put on in the desert.
Right. There may be some destruction of motor vehicles involved.
Just the scale of it.
Not
You'll see it at the
actually
top,
a little
you'll see
bit,
it
but
at
no,
the-
it's
just-
it's truly we have spent about 85% of the entire budget on the first 6 minutes. It's a truly
We like to use the word epic.
Yeah,
in
well, we've
California.
done the
Yeah.
sort of thing you would expect us to do, only more bigly.
now that it's an adverb, we
I
can
see
drop
you've,
that in.
you've become accustomed to life in America.
Yeah, it's braggadocious.
A McLaren P1, a Ferrari LaFerrari. What else can we expect to see of
Porsche
four
918.
wheels? And what else can we expect to see of motorized vehicles that are not cars at all?
We've completed all of the films now, and
Pretty much.
as you would expect if you know us, some of the films we've made are pretty car orientated. We're kicking off with a genuinely car focused item on the McLaren P1, the Ferrari, and the Porsche 918. And then some of them barely have a car in them, and it's just us three falling over. So because there are some people who watch us getting everything wrong and catching fire. Some people like the cars, and it's always quite difficult to get that balance right. But I think we've done
Yeah,
a pretty
it's
good
there. It's
job.
in there. I mean, the cars you want to see are there. We've hit the big ones, the main ones. We've done that triumvirate of hybrid hypercars, and that's for the first show. It had to be in, and it is a bit of a statement. It does say, look, if you want to watch it for the cars, they are there.
And there is variety. I mean, you were asking what sort of other things are in it. You'll probably be quite excited to know, and your viewers, that there is an airport catering lorry in it.
There is.
At one point, very briefly, yeah.
That will be your biggest episode.
One of the things we
Possibly.
enjoy doing, and I know we all agree on this, we have more fun driving really terrible old cars
Never happier.
than new fast ones. And that's true fact. I know.
Never
Yes,
happy.
much more
And if you give us a terrible old car and put it somewhere entirely inappropriate, a desert or a mountain that's where we're at our happiest, is trying to do something where the viewer, the viewer's looking going, I used to have one of those, it could barely get to the end of the street, so how you think you're going to get over the Himalayas or whatever in it? And that's where we're, particularly as we never prepare properly. We've always just got a biscuit, a chocolate bar and a glass of water, and off we go. Well, not water, James and I don't drink it, but and then off we go.
But I talked to two people who were on the set out in Rabbit Lake or Antelope Mountain or whatever in the
Was
world.
Rabbit
what,
Lake,
what
it was.
animal and what size of a geographic thing was. When they said you appear to be having a very good time.
Oh, now come on,
We
it's
always
very
have
hard
a
work.
good time.
No.
There would be
course
no
we
other
are.
reason to do it other than that we actually enjoy it. That is the primary motivation for doing it.
And throughout that day, the day before yesterday, when we were doing that big record, all day long, people were turning up that were from our crew, camera operators, sound guys. We've worked with for 15 years. Some that I didn't know were there, and every now and again you'd see somebody. Steve turned up, and so they all arrive, and it feels great. 'Cause it's the whole
was-
band. It's not just us. We're not just the band. There's a lot more to it than that, and we got everybody back together. And as they arrived in the desert, making the biggest shoot we've ever done, how can that not feel good?
12 episodes, one a week. Is it too soon to talk about season 2?
No, season
Well,
2
we
will
commissioned for it.
Yeah.
We've
And
got to fill
3.
it up.
To get on with it, we
got
will.
to
We
do
will
it.
roll straight from this
to
one
do
into
it.
that one.
How soon do you start filming those?
Immediately.
Yeah.
We
Yeah,
don't
with-
get a
with-
time off. We do the films, all of the films that are necessary to fill half the shows effectively, because half studio, tent, half film. We do the films, then we do the tent stuff, which we've just started now in California. and then we'll roll that out. And as soon as the last tent sequence is finished, wherever that might be, who knows, we'll start filming for season 2.
We'll be straight in.
Straight
we'll
in.
have to be.
I
We
can't
won't
wait to
get
see it.
done.
And thank you all for coming down here today.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
for
We
having
hope
us.
people enjoy it. Matters to us.